Hey guys, we're back. All right, so instead of giving out belts when students get ready for a promotion, should we do like John Danaher and hand out knives to our student? Is that a good idea? Let me know.
One of the greatest BJJ coaches, John Danaher, is known for many things, not only as Gordon Ryan's head coach. From becoming the modern leg lock pioneer, to how philosophical he talks, to his charismatic way.
The majority of what passes for drilling in most training halls will not make you better, including some of the most cherished forms of drilling, which is repetition for numbers. That's not the point of drilling. The point is skill acquisition.
He wears his waist bag every time. The Death Squad leader adorns a persona unlike anyone known in BJJ. But there is something about John that I would love to share with you. Another lifestyle of the jiu-jitsu master outside his love of BJJ, but he finds a way to insert it into BJJ. The guilty pleasure of John Danaher is his love for knives. His love for his weaponry has led him to give the knife only to special students when they have achieved an impressive feat.
So I often give a gift of a knife to a student when they've done something significant.
Why is John Danaher drawn to knives? What makes it special to him? John Danaher's attraction to knives is more of its symbolical and metaphoric meanings. In reality, knives in this present age are less efficient than guns in terms of efficiency, but their origin, craftsmanship, and quality hold a place in the hearts of their collectors.
What kind of pocket knives do I collect? Show the most expensive knife in your collection. Show the least expensive knife in your collection.
John is a believer in honoring symbols in our lives as they represent, clarify, and remind us of ideas and beliefs that we hold dear. And knives for John are a prime example of a relic that embodies these symbols. The head coach of Gordon Ryan, Dan Manisu, and Luke Griffith, John Danaher, is of the opinion that the journey of jiu-jitsu symbolizes 4 things in knives.
A knife is made of steel, and steel begins as ore in the ground. It's an ugly, unfinished product, which, through the enactment of knowledge, time, and discipline, can be transformed into beautiful, shining steel.
Ore rose from the dirt of the earth to become the most important tool for the evolution of the human race, and takes its place as the king in the full chain. Through knowledge, patience, and discipline, ore was transformed from a dirty, ugly, unfinished product into a beautiful, shining steel that is the most functional tool in human history. To John, the journey in martial arts is the same. A BJJ athlete begins his training as a white belt, unskilled and lost on the mat. Through diligence and hard work, they could rise to the pinnacle of success in BJJ. John Danaher mirrors the consistent lifelong journey of jiu-jitsu to the maintenance of knives. As elegant, sophisticated, and sharp as a knife can be, without proper maintenance, it will without doubt fall apart. The shiny nature of steel will give way to rust, and this will in turn make the once strong knife brittle. For John Danaher, owning a knife is the same as having the skill of jiu-jitsu. It is not enough to just have the skill and technique. You need to constantly be on the mat, practicing and maintaining the skill. Not only that, over time we have seen there have been different ways for you to defend against different submissions.
By lowering your center of gravity, your hips can scoop him up, and your forward momentum will use his tight grip against him.
Without the constant practicing, elite athletes in the same belt rank, or even less, could counter your submission and make you helpless. And this is the never-ending journey of jiu-jitsu. First, you are the ore, then you become the shining steel, and then you need to stay sharp by maintaining your skill through constant practice. The knife can serve many purposes. It can serve as a weapon of protection to save a life. It can also be used for cutting vegetables to make a meal.
Japanese chef's knives are world-renowned for their unique design and durability.
Also, the knife can be a murder weapon to take someone's life. It all depends on the individual who handles it. And the same time can be said for jiu-jitsu. As the philosopher coach said, Jiu-Jitsu can bring out the best or worst version of you. It is a form of power that can be willed for good or evil, depending on who possesses the skill. What you do with your martial skills shows the person you are.
Who you are when you walk in will tend to be accentuated by Jiu-Jitsu. If you're a nice person, when you walk in the door, Jiu-Jitsu will make you a nicer person. But if you're an asshole and you walk in through the door, Jiu-Jitsu will make you more of an asshole because it'll give you more power.
Are you bullying people in the gym? Or are you trying to help the less skilled get better inside and outside the gym?
But he's able to successfully body fold, kind of throws into an outside trip, ends up heisting him down, ends up back in the half guard.
The basis of the knife is steel.
Another reason why John Danaher is attached to knives is that it symbolizes the hardness and suppleness of jiu-jitsu, which is also a property in steel making. You see, in steel making, the harder the steel is made, the better the edges will remain sharp. And that is a good thing, but it comes with a disadvantage. When steel is made with so much hardness, it will become brittle, and the edges that were once sharp can be damaged easily and lose their sharpness. So the solution to the destruction and brittleness of the blade is to make the blade softer and more malleable, as this will stop the blade from deteriorating and gradual chipping of the edges. But this solution is also plagued with its own problems. Because of how malleable and soft the steel blade is, the sharpness of its edges easily fades away with time. So in conquering both the weakness and strength of steel, the blacksmith needs to work with so much skill and precision that they can forge a steel that is hard enough to remain sharp for a long period of time, but not to the extent that it becomes brittle and destroys the blade. This could also be said for jiu-jitsu. The task of training is to stimulate competitiveness on the mat to the likeness of a combat scenario, so you will get accustomed to the rigor and vigor of fights. But there is a slim line you cannot cross. The training shouldn't be so brutal that the athlete's body is destroyed. And they won't be able to effectively use all the skills they have learned in competition. So the duality of hardness and malleability of a blade can be mirrored in how training is supposed to be balanced. Without balance, injuries will soak up all the time spent on the mat. And accomplishments gotten from showcasing skills learned on the mat will be forfeited. One of the recent recipients of John Danaher's special knife gifts is Helena Kravar. After she won her 2023 IBJJF Pans and World Championship with a 100% submission rate, the teenage sensation was given a handmade Ganji Viper knife from Maniaggio, Italy. Other students of the New Wave head coach have also received different knives from John Danaher. Who will be the next worthy athlete to receive John Danaher's knife?